بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. نرحب فيكم بالدرس الثاني grammar in context. Macmillan flinghigh6 unit4 grammar page 42. Now you'll see all of them are here also. You can reference to it. Now before we start with the lesson, we're going to have to revise what we took before. Now the noun suffixes, remember noun suffixes? We told you that noun suffixes, it changes the verb, the adverb, the adjectives into a noun. For example, happy, we change it to happiness. Act, when we add to it ion, a suffix, it changes to action. Now electricity or electric, we change it to electricity or electrician. Okay, electrician. Now these are the noun suffixes. Now today's lesson we're going to talk about the articles and also exercises, and also we're going to take reading. Grammar in context. The article, we have two articles now. We have three articles. A, an and the. We're going to take only a and an. We add it to singular and countable nouns. Singular and countable. It has to be singular and countable nouns. For example, a book, an apple, a car, a train, a man. Okay? Singular and countable. We use it when we mention something for the first time. If we are talking about something and we mentioned it, we talk about it for the first time, we say, I bought a book. For example, nobody talked about a book. I never mentioned that I was going to buy a book. So I bought a book, any kind of book. To say that a person or a thing is one of number of things or people. For example, for things or people. A man is coming to see you. How many men? Only one. A man, one man. To say what somebody's profession means مهنة, وظيفة. So if you want to talk about doctors or something, you say a man is coming to see you and he is a doctor. For example, it should be he's a doctor and he is a doctor. That's his profession. Now we're going to take this time the article the, أداة التعريف. It's just like al in Arabic. So countable, singular and plural and uncountable noun. We use it with everything. We use it with countable, uncountable, singular and plural. For example, the book, the apples, the water. It's uncountable and it's plural and also singular. We can use it with all of them. We use it to refer to something or somebody's previous mention. If something or something previously mentioned. Now, for example, the book that I bought a book. Now, if I want to mention the book, if I say the book was blue or was great, I bought a book. Now, I'm mentioning the book again. We say the book was great. Okay? To talk about a specific thing or people, a specific thing. For example, the book that I bought was great. I'm talking about a specific book, the book that I bought. To talk about something unique, فريد من نوعه, unique. Something that is the only one in the world. There's nothing like it. For example, the sun, the moon, the government, something unique. Only one thing is there in the world in the world. With superlative adjectives and adverbs. Superlative when I want to compare between one and more than one. Okay, one and two, one and three. That's the superlative. For example, the biggest, the tallest. Ahmed is the biggest man in the class, or the tallest guy. No articles. We don't add a an or the, we don't add them. Sometimes we don't add them if it's when we are talking about people or things in general. In general, بشكل عام. We're not talking about specific thing, we're talking about in general. For example, doctors are working hard to keep us safe. Doctors, all of the doctors, in general, all doctors. Okay? Grammar guide. Now we're going to take an exercise a little bit. Now read these sentences. There was a chimpanzee in a zoo in Sweden. A chimpanzee, that's the first time we heard about it. And this is a zoo, the first time we mentioned it. So it's not specific. It's not something that's unique or mentioned before. The chimpanzee didn't like being at the zoo. So we mentioned the chimpanzee again, so we add the. Also we mentioned the zoo again, so we add the. Now this one, scientists say humans make plans, but animals don't. So scientists, general information, general thing. Humans, general thing also. Plans, general thing. If I'm talking about a general people or general things, we don't add anything to it. They're the most intelligent animals in the world. So we are comparing the most, superlative. Animals in the world, only one world we have, so it's unique. That's why we add that. Match the sentences halves. Half means that's the plural of half is halves. To make rules. Which sentence is one in an example or each rule? So he's going to give you some sentences. So we use a and with what? With what rule? Which one do you think? So one, a and with what? A. To talk about a single countable person or thing for the first time. We talk about the first time. Now, we use the. When do we use the? To talk about a specific person or thing, or a person or a thing mentioned before. If we mentioned it before, we use the, or specific thing. Also we use the when? To talk about someone or something that is unique. The sun, the moon, unique. فريد من نوعه. We use the with what? Which with superlative, when we compare between one and more than one. Superlative, adjectives and adverbs. Now these three you can change between them, it's okay. The last one, we use no article. We don't use any article with what? That's the last thing. To talk about things in general in the plural. For example, doctors, nurses, teachers, okay? Something in general. Now we finished with the grammar. Now we're going to go to the exercise. Exercise. Choose the correct alternatives. So he gave you choose the correct article. Now they say that we have a and language is what separates the and space human from animals. So which one do you think? They say that language. You don't say a language or the language. Okay, you say language. They say that language, because you're talking about something in general, is what separates what? Also nothing, because we're talking about human or humans in general. From, what do you think? It's also nothing. So we say animals, because we're talking about general things. I think dolphins. I think the dolphin, or I think dolphins. I'm talking about something in general, so I say dolphins are most intelligent. This is superlative, one and more. So we say the most intelligent animals. Okay? Last night last night I saw, you say documentary, you say a documentary or documentary. What do you think? You say a documentary about bird. You say about a bird or a bird. You say a bird that has what? Which one do you think? That has a really good memory, or say that has the really good memory? Say a really good memory. Did you read book about? Did you read a book about or the book about? Which one do you think? Then he started to talk about the book. He say the book about, because we all of us know what are you talking about? Which book? So animal intelligence. So you say book about the animal intelligence or animal intelligence, because I'm talking about something in general. We say animal intelligence. That I have you yesterday. That I gave you yesterday. I reckon. Now what is the meaning of reckon? Reckon, it's a kind of slang word. You say reckon means I think. I reckon. I reckon that people are the more valuable, violent, or you say are violent, are more violent, say are more violent than most animals. The biggest problem. This is a superlative. So what do you say? The biggest problem today that we aren't looking for after. You say the world or a world. You say after the world. We're looking after the world. I've got a friend. What do you think? I've got a friend or I got the friend? I've got a friend who trains the animals, or you say trains animals. You say trains animals in general. To help the people or to help people? To help people. Also general. Last week I read an article or the article about. Which one do you think? An article. We don't know about it. About space, you say first intelligent or the first intelligent. The first is the unique. You say the first intelligent test with what? Gorillas. With the gorilla or with gorillas. In general, you say with gorillas, without anything. So now we're going to complete the text with a and the or no article. So I've got friend who. Which one do you think? I've got a friend who loves animals. What do you say? Love the animal or animal? Which one? You say loves animals without anything, because I'm talking about animals in general. She's got what? Amazing cat. She's got an amazing cat where you can ask it math questions. Where you can ask it a math question or math questions, because I'm talking about general, something, a math question like what's 2 plus 2 or what's 5 minus 3. It can tell you what? Answer. The answer. Here, because I'm talking about the question, a question. Of course, cat can't speak. Can you say? Of course, the cat can't speak. I'm talking about the cat, this cat, because we mentioned it before. The cat can't speak. This cat touches what? Floor, touches the floor with its palm. Palm, it's the hand of animals. You say palm. Also, the palm of the hand, باطن اليد. To answer. So if answer is 4, if the answer is 4, to touch what? The floor 4 times. It touches the floor 4 times. I think that my friend could make a fortune fortune means money. A fortune on a TV show. You can make a fortune means make money. So we're finished with the articles, and we're finished with the exercise. Now we're going to go to the reading. It's not reading, it's making, correcting the mistakes in the reading. So we have this reading, Coco the gorilla. We have, if you read it, you have lots of things that the articles are incorrect. He said, read this text and correct 7 mistakes in the use of articles. So, for many years, the scientists have investigated whether the animals can really communicate with humans using language. Monkeys and gorillas have often been involved in these searches. So Coco is the 40 years. What do you think? Coco, this one we say, for many years, the scientists, you don't say the scientists, you say scientists have invented, because you're talking about something in general. Also here, the animals investigated whether the animals, do you say the animals? We say animals. And also here, Coco is 40 years. You don't say the 40 years. And this one is a close person to Coco. Reckon that a gallery undertaken, what is it? A close person to Coco. Now, doctors, okay. Now this one, she's also proved to be able to communicate the important. You don't say the important message. You say important message. Okay. Thank you very much. We hope to see you again in another lesson. وهذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.